In one of the earlier videos, I gave you something silly like saying one giraffe neck equals 3 meters. Now, this giraffe neck here is a length. This here is also a length. Length meaning just one dimension, it's just like a piece of string. Now we're talking about area. Okay, this here is a length. This here is a length. This here is also a length. Now, when you're talking about area, now this is one giraffe neck squared. That means it's this whole area here. One giraffe neck squared is this whole area here. Now, one giraffe neck squared is actually 9 meters squared. So remember this meter squared is this bit here. Okay, and now I've got 9 of these. So you've got to make a copy of it 9 times here. Here like this. Okay, so in effect you are making a copy of it. Well, you've got nine. Well, when you're talking about length, this here to this here is really a matter of timesing 3. Okay, but when it comes to talking about an area of something, this here you've got to times it by 3 squared, because look, this here in effect is 9. So you've got to times this by 9 when you're talking about an area, because with an area you've got to make it, you've got to drag, well, you've got to make a copy of here and then make a copy here. So really it's going to be 3. You've got to times it by 3 squared. Okay, I know it's quite strange, but well, I guess you just have to accept it. This here is a length. This here is a length. When you're talking about an area, you've got to times it by in effect by 9. If this here is 3, then you've got to times it by 3 squared. If up here is, let's say, 5, then you've got to times it by 5 squared. It's because you're talking about an area. Here you're talking about a length. Well, anyway, now let's say this is me being a farmer sowing my seeds in the field. So here let's say this here is me farming. This here you're looking down. This is a bird's eye view of my field. So if say I can sow my seeds, if I can sow this whole area here is 4 kilometers squared. So now 4 kilometers squared. If I can sow my seeds 4 kilometers squared in 7 hours, okay, in 7 hours, convert this into meters per second. Okay, meters squared per second, sorry, convert this into meters squared per second. Now this thing here is an area. It's not meters squared. You see, meters squared, this thing here is a length. So you're talking about the length of a string in a certain amount of time. Now I want meters squared, meaning now I'm talking about an area in a certain amount of time. You see, looking at this here, I am sowing the seeds well, I'm talking about area here. So I have to express this as an area, and then I also want to take time into account. So let's say I can sow this whole area here, which is 4 kilometers squared. Okay, 4 kilometers squared in 7 hours. Now convert this into meters squared per second. Remember, this thing here is the same as meters squared over second. It's the same thing. Okay, learn to express things in terms of meters and seconds. These are very common. Okay, well, anyway, your job is to convert this into meters squared per second. So press pause and have a go. Okay, so to do this, hang on, let me tidy this up. So 4 kilometers squared equal over, what was it, 7 hours, was it? 7 hours. So convert this into meters squared per hour. So let's look at this. We know that 1 kilometer 1 kilometer equals 1,000 1000 meters. Now, what? So here you're timesing this by 1000. Okay, 1000. Now, if we're looking at an area, so one 1 kilometer squared equals, well, it's here the factor is you're timing by a factor of 1000. So now you've got to times by a factor of 1000 squared. So it's going to be quite a big number. So it's going to be you've got to times it by 1000 squared. Okay, because you're talking about an area. So that's going to be well, if I think you just have to accept it. It's just like this here. One well 3 meters. Then you got to do this. Well, it's going to be like this. So you have to accept. I guess you just have to accept it. Times by 1000 squared. So that will be, hang on, 1000 squared will be 1 with that's 1000 and then 1000 again. So it's going to be 1 million. So now this is this here, 1 kilometer squared is 1 million 1 million meters squared. But then we've got 4 of these, so we've got to times it by 4. Okay, so this thing here will be 4 because 1 kilometer squared equals 1 million meters squared. Now we've got 4 kilometers here, so now we've got 4 million meters squared. Okay, let's leave the hours as it is for the time being. So now this is meters squared, which is good because our aim is to get it into meters squared per second. Now we've got to convert this into seconds now. Okay, so this equals 4 million. Let's just take the 4 million down. Over, well, 7 hours. Well, 1 hour is 60 minutes. Well, we've got 7 hours, so it's going to be 7, well, times 7. So that would be 42 with 1 0 here. Now this thing is now in minutes. We've got to convert it into seconds. So now we've got to times it by 60 again. Okay, well, we've got to times it by 60. So hang on. So let's take the 4 million down. 4 million here. 1, 2, 3, and then this bottom thing times 60. Remember, this here is in minutes at the moment, so we've got to times it by 60 to get it into seconds. So 420 times 60 equals this. Now this is in seconds now. Hang on. 25200. Okay, so this is meters squared and this is seconds. Okay, now here's the thing. If I get this, and so this here is an area. Now this area divided by this many seconds, whatever the whole answer is at the end, it will be an area in 1 second. Okay, so now an area in 1 second, that's just like saying area per second. I could write it per second like this, or I could write it like this. For some reason, I like this. So this here. So if you get this, and divided by, well, if you get this divided by this here, you would get a whole number. That whole number here would be would represent an area per second. So let's just do it. Okay, hang on. Clear this. When I say a whole number, it might be a decimal, but this what I meant was this whole thing here. Okay, where's my calculator? Hang on. So 4 million 1, 2, 3 divided by 2, 5, 0, 2, 1, 2 zeros here equals this 5 what 158.7. You see, I don't really care what this is. This is just an area, and this area here is what I can do in 1 second. Okay, so which is pretty fast. Okay, so this is your answer: 158.7 meters squared per second. And remember that this here is an area, this here is a time. So I can cover this area in 1 second. Okay.